Welcome to Pashua's Moment with Pastor Charles Kiyaga.
Yes, praise the Lord, brethren. I'm back again on your program, the Pashua's Moment. And I'm here on your prayer site, Zion Pashua's Prayer Mountain, dedicated to the cause of seeking and drawing close to God. It's a place that you should come to as often as you can, so that you can connect with God, who is your source. There's an open heaven upon this site ever since we dedicated it. And we gave it a name that it is a site to seek God. Names are very important. Since we gave it that name, there is a God that would there is a grace that will draw you and cause you and teach you and give you a passion and a desire to draw close to God. So, as we are ending the year, we are planning to have a prayer and fasting camp on this mountain, which is going to begin on the 28th to the 30th of December, which will be actually next week. We are going to be camped here. I encourage all of you to please come and let us be here and wait upon God. Last week, we talked about the spiritual benefits of fasting. It's going to be a prayer and fasting camp, but I know many people fear fasting, especially that dry fasting for 3 days. People think they will not survive, they will not manage because of the lifestyle we've been living. But last week we learned about the spiritual benefits of fasting. So this week I'm going to be taking you through the health benefits of fasting, so that when you come and join the fasting with joy, you do it not being dragged, but do it with your free will and desire to go through the experience, because that experience will not leave you the same. So I'm going to talk about the health benefits, and I'll be talking about a little bit of diet and lifestyle. So I want to talk about diet to begin with. So there are four major nutritional bases. And the major nutritional base is the energy base, which we get out of the carbohydrate meals. And then the other major base, nutritional base, is the protein base, which we get out of protein sources like meats, that is beef, chicken, fish, and then we also get it from vegetables like beans, like soya, and so on. Those are the two major nutritional bases. The carbohydrates, we get energy. The proteins, we get bodybuilding foods. You know, we have cells that have got a short shelf life, they die off, and they have to be replenished. New cells have to be generated. When the old ones are tearing away, the new ones are being generated. But it is that protein base that enables that. Then the energy we use to do our work and to be able to function comes from carbohydrate bases. And these carbohydrate bases are usually starches, like cassava, potatoes, matoke, yams, and all these kind of foods, which form the big component of our diet. They are usually carbohydrates. Then we have other sources, that is for minerals, which we usually get from vegetables. Then we need micronutrients for immune boosting, which we get from fruits. So all of these together form the components of our diet that we eat. And we usually need to have a balanced diet so that our bodies can pick on everything that they need to survive. But the major component of our food is carbohydrates. So when you see the meal you have, like 80, maybe to 90% are carbohydrates. A typical African dish, especially Ugandan one. About 80% or 70 to 80% are carbohydrates. But what do we get out of carbohydrates? When you eat cassava, for instance, potatoes also on, you get what we call glucose. Glucose is the basic carbohydrate. And the molecule of glucose has got one energy bond. It produces energy, but it is small energy. But usually, every food we eat, the molecule that comes out from which we generate energy is called glucose. And this glucose is a ready source of energy, very unstable, very volatile. It never needs to stay in the bloodstream for long. So the body has got a mechanism to come and draw it out of blood and take it into the cells and the muscles. In the cells to be able to generate energy for the cell function. But when there are excesses, the excesses are stored in the muscles. And when the muscles are full, they are stored in form of fats. Okay? So, they are converted into stable forms from glucose. The next component is lactose. Usually lactose has got like a double two energy bonds, so it produces twice the amount of energy oxygen molecule would give you. Then fructose will give you like 3 energy bonds, 3 times the energy glucose molecule will give you. Then galactose, 4 times the energy. Pentose, 5 times the energy. Now all these forms of glucose are meant to stabilize the glucose and store it for the long term. And those so-called fats that we have in our bodies are usually those forms of glucose that has been stored as galactose, as pentose, which has got like 5 times the energy from one molecule, the energy we would get from one molecule of glucose. So I will teach you how this is very important and how our lifestyle will determine which form of energy we use. So I will begin from there tomorrow. As we learn on the health benefits of fasting, in a way to encourage you to join us in the prayer and fasting, which is beginning on the 28th to the 30th of December. God bless you.
Eyo yebadde Pursuers Moment ng'ekutusiddwako essomero lya Pursuers Junior School erisangibwa mu Butambala ku kkubo lya Mpigi Gombe. Kati wulira enkizo eriwo singa otwala omwana wo ku Pursuers Junior School. Interviews za bwereere. Essomero liyimiridde ku musingi ogutya Katonda ate ng'omwana agunjulwa bakugu. Tutumbula ebitone eby'enjawulo mu mwana. Tulina amazzi amayonjo ku ssomero ate ng'omwana wasomera ne weyeebaka abanga mukungu. Endya y'abayizi nnungi byansusso anti emmere tugirimira nga ne faamu y'ente weeri ku ssomero. Tulina emmotoka ezitambuza abaana. Pursuers Junior School e Butambala tusomesa abaana okuva mu baby class okutuuka ku kibiina ekyomusanvu mu ddene boarding. Okumanya ebisingawo 0772 41 98 4 ne 0702 36 41 64. Pursuers Junior School Butambala, in pursuit of knowledge.